Ki-Tetze is a portion in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 10 through chapter 25, verse 19. This portion is filled with a list of commandments that the children of Israel must follow. It is actually the portion with the highest number of commandments that Jews are obligated to observe. Among the commandments, there are those related to honest trade, returning lost items, marriage and divorce, social and financial behaviors, maintaining purity in the camp during wartime, prohibitions on illicit relations, and even a requirement to build a parapet for one's roof. The portion seems to be telling us, go out, step out of your comfort zone and the ordinary, and pay attention to the details and everything around you. I chose to delve into one verse that I find particularly important among this vast collection of commandments. It is the essence of the matter in my eyes. The verse is chapter 24, verse 22, and you shall remember you were a slave in Egypt. Therefore, I command you to do this thing. I find that this verse reveals the foundation of God's request from us and what he expects from the people of Israel as his nation. What is so powerful about this memory in our lives? Does dwelling on past memories indicate stagnation and lack of progress, development, and learning? What is the power of memory? To me, memory is a wonderful tool that God places in our hands to understand and be empowered in our daily personal lives and in the broader universal existence. Memory is a powerful tool to piece things together to form a complete picture and process past experiences. When we're reminded something from our past, it likely means we have the strength and capability to cope, to overcome, and to build another layer in our life. We have the ability to grow. When a past experience doesn't fade from our hearts and constantly floats back into our memory, it's simply a sign from God indicating that there's a need for processing and change, an opportunity to gain a new understanding of the situation, the person, the environment, and the individual's powers. God is waiting for us, longing for our attention and growth, hoping we turn and look at him. This floating memory signals that deep down we long for him in return. Memory serves to awaken something within us, something from our past that requires rectification. It promises new understanding about a situation, about a person, about the surroundings, and about the individual's strengths. Memory is a vitalizing force, demanding rectification and elevation. When something hurts or is difficult, all we want is to distance ourselves from it, to let it rest, hoping it will disappear from our thoughts and hearts. A resurfacing memory reveals something we might not be ready to digest. And yet God says some commandments' very essence is to remember something. Our verse, and you shall remember that you were a slave in Egypt. Therefore, I command you to do this thing, resonates even though the children of Israel had already spent 40 years in the desert and the generation that left Egypt no longer existed. There is still a tangible commandment to remember that we were once slaves. Here is Deuteronomy. The children of Israel started as slaves in Egypt under a harsh yoke, experiencing great suffering and distress. They remained in Egypt, crying out to God to save them. And God, he sent Moses and Aaron to them, performed miracles, freed them from the mentality of enslavement which sometimes sits deep within a person's soul. Fantasizing and belittling oneself, the Holy One, blessed be he, witnessed all of these. He came forth and saved Israel. Even in their most oppressed state, he still saw the great light within them, the essence. God possesses the capability to discern and elevate. He granted both the children of Israel and the entire world an understanding that there is always a chance for change, that there's a purpose in hardship, that there's success when one remembers their inner essence, even when it is fully concealed from sight. This verse is situated precisely here amongst the myriad of commandments that God has commanded the children of Israel. It's to inform them of a great secret. Look at all I have done for you in Egypt. Remember it for generations to come. For when you remember what I did for you there, you will see that with genuine desire and love, I changed the course of your lives from slaves to masters, from the oppressed to the victorious, from the poor to the wealthy, from lacking spirituality to being deeply spiritual and close to God. Remember that I did this for you, God tells us. Remember and know that at any moment, God has the power to change circumstances. God loves mankind and the world. He desires its success and the existence of the heavens and the earth. God gives life and death, causes growth and downfall, and you by virtue of remembering, have the ability to shift forces from destruction to redemption, from evil to good. Another insight revealed here is an understanding that there's always room for improvement in refining our characteristics and our general state. There's a profound comprehension of the Creator's demands from His creations. My dear ones, remember what I've done for you, reciprocate. Remember what I've achieved for you, and act similarly in this world for the same purpose. Remember and remind others of the divinity, the kindness, the compassion, and the force that drives the world. For through the power of memory, even after thousands of generations, we become one with God, recognizing and basking in His light. The commandments God gives us are flavorful commands meant to add goodness and holiness to the world, to express the light, the kindness, and the compassion, shining God's greatness in the world. Memory is a powerful tool that aids us when we forget our path, when we lose our way. Even though we live in the year 2023, something within us knows the taste of slavery and the taste of redemption. We shouldn't be blinded by our daily lives. We should reflect on the past, remember the God engraved in our history, and let this memory be our compass for true and pure divine service. This compass will light our way, connecting us to the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Meanwhile, I invite you all to delve into your past and find ways to make amends, to remember the things you've forgotten, and to polish your inner source so that you can do right by the God who lovingly created you. Return that love, for it belongs to you and for you. And for this very purpose, the world was created. I hope this helps. If you need any adjustments or further clarification, please let me know.